apparently whenever I stream it just doesn't work. As you can see, I'm level 6, so I have done some flights. I've done a number of missions, only the first flight missions, because I want to do these check rides on the stream. So I've been holding off on doing the commercial pilot's license until the stream, but it might end up being like I did last night. I might end up having to just do these offline and upload them as videos to the channel. It's not ideal. But I'm getting into this point, and then I'm just hoping that the server gods are on my side. And it's weird because when I click to start the commercial pilot's license, my data goes through the roof for like 2 seconds. It goes up to like 100 meg, and then it just stops for some reason. It just goes down to nothing. It's like it put a request in, and then oh, we're getting in. This is not a drill. This is not a drill. We might actually get to fly. Oh, everybody come in now. This is where you like and subscribe. So, as I was saying, so Nick, have you not managed to get in and fly at all yet? If you haven't, try Proton VPN. It really sounds like an advert now. It really isn't. I just refuse to pay for any other VPN than the VPN I already have. And the VPN that I already had, which came with Dashlane Password Manager, was just getting blocked by FlightSim. So I tried Proton VPN, and that seemed to let me in. It was, for some reason, connecting through the Netherlands, solved all my problems, apart from I couldn't then live stream. So I'm trying to just keep it with no VPN right now so that I can live stream and play, but it's really hit and miss. So, as I said, when you come in and you try to remove these covers and things to do the chocks and engine covers properly, it doesn't always load in. You just get these blue dots with the spinnies. So, whilst I do want to do this properly, it's really weird that it would load in the flight and let you start doing pre-flight checks, do your walk around, but then not have, I don't know, also loaded in the mandatory things you have to toggle off. Even my examiner there is sitting going, what a tool. You can't even take his remove 4 flights off. So, we tried, okay, we would have taken that off, we'd have removed the chocks, and we'd have come and taken this off, right? That would have been the 4 things we'd had to do, but instead I'm going to have to go Alt and N, and just skip doing in the cab.
Welcome to your CPL check ride, the last stop on your way to become a true professional pilot. For this check ride, you will complete a cross-country flight through Los Angeles County, taking off from Van Nuys Airport and then landing at Bob Hope Airport. You can start when you are ready.
Okay, so to get the maximum points, because I did some of the lessons on this, they say you can use any navigational aids that you want, but really they want you to stick to the GPS flight plan, right? So they're liars. So what you want to do in this aircraft is you want to press FPL, brings up your flight plan, and the only way to trigger the GPS setting in autopilot is to actually put it into heading mode first. Don't ask me why. Then go into menu here and activate the leg, the first leg. Then if you go back to nav, you'll see the green GPS at the top of the primary flight display. It will not go into the GPS mode unless you do that. You know, if you just click CDI and kind of spin the nav sources, doesn't trigger it like it should. You have to go to heading mode and then switch back to nav. So that's the GPS set in. I don't know if did they give me an altitude? I think they did. I can set that later, but let's just set the altitude to something like 6,000 or something just now. And we can kind of fix that once we've taken off. Right, so we will reset our view. We will pop ourselves up, look down, and I've got my ATC command set to the top of my joystick here, so I can just hit this, and that will request my clearances.
Van Nuys ground Cessna Golf. Tango Echo India Papa with Mike request taxi for takeoff east departure. Cessna Golf, Tango Echo India Papa Taxi 2, and hold short of runway 16 right using taxiway Alpha 1 Charlie. Contact tower on 120.2 when ready.
Okay, let's acknowledge the clearance.
Taxiing hold short runway
Take our
16
brakes
right,
off.
taxiway Alpha 1 Charlie Cessna
We'll start
Echo
taxiing
Papa.
to the hold short. I'm going to take this incredibly seriously, so I'm probably not going to look at the chat too much. Because ideally I'd like to get a good score on this. So I'm not going to be racing along the taxiways or anything like that like you would normally do if you're having fun, because if you go too fast they will fault you for taxiing too fast. Things like that. You'll also note that on the check rides they don't put any flaps in for you, so you're going to want to take 10 degrees of flaps before you take off. But I'll do that when I get to the hold short. And do make sure that you stop in the hold short boxes. They will penalise you for that if you don't stop in the boxes. So with hold short, we'll request our takeoff clearance, assuming that we've done our run up.
Van Nuys Tower Cessna Golf, Tango Echo India Papa ready at runway 16 right east departure. Cessna Golf, Tango Echo India Papa, altimeter 29.92 departure to the east approved. Cleared for takeoff, runway 16 right.
Okay.
Clear for
Acknowledge
takeoff,
clear for takeoff.
runway 16 right Cessna Echo India Papa.
So we will now line up. As we cross, we check right, we check left, all is clear. And as soon as we are lined up, full throttle. Airspeed is alive. .55 knots, rotate. Positive rate of climb. 1,500 feet is what it wants me to climb out to. Typically it wants me to climb out at 75 knots, so we'll keep the nose down a little bit as we gain some altitude and gain some speed. Take those flaps out now. And we'll set that altitude to 1,500.
Cessna Echo India Papa continue for east departure.
Kick the autopilot on. Vertical speed nose up. Acknowledge the
Van Nuys Tower Cessna Golf.
control.
Tango Echo India Papa continue for east departure.
So I say they don't necessarily tell you to use the autopilot. They don't probably want you using autopilot. But I have found to get the best points in the lessons. You have to follow the GPS route anyway, like as close as possible. So you might as well. This feels like a really short flight. If it is literally just a takeoff, fly and then land at... So we'll pull the power back to 2300 RPM now. There appears to be a bunch of buildings and things in my way. I hope I don't actually hit anything.
Cessna Echo India Papa, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Okay, I will accept that.
Van Nuys Tower Cessna Golf. Tango Echo India Papa frequency change.
Okay, we'll connect.
Burbank Tower
We
Cessna
can
Golf.
put
Tango
autopilot
Echo
off
India
now.
Papa is 4 miles west of
Throttle
Dallas
back.
and 900 feet with Golf to land.
This is not a commercial pilot check. This is a takeoff and landing. So let's pull that power back. Acknowledge those clearances.
Runway 8 Cessna.
I don't know what's going on with all these shadow boxes and stuff. But they're not actually there. They're not actually buildings, and it's not Minecraft trying to spawn into the flight simulator. It might be. Flap 1 down. Acknowledge clearance.
Cleared to land runway 8 Cessna Echo India Papa.
Straighten up. So I can see where I'm going. It does want you to go down at about 65. I'm not sinking. I'm too high, if anything. It does want you to come down at 65 knots. Probably forecast to be just a little bit short, so I'll add a bit of power in as I fly through Minecraft. Put that final stage of flap in. It's not always like this. The PPL one was a lot nicer than this. We'll just bring it down for hopefully a fairly gentle landing. As we fly out above the runway. Down. And roll.
Cessna Echo India Papa, turn next taxiway.
It's changed its mind that my hold short is now behind me. See, that's frustrating because, as you all have seen, my hold short was in front of me, and now it's behind me. So now I cannot leave the runway. I have to U-turn back on myself. So that's not the next taxiway. This is actually a previous taxiway that it wants me to stop at, but I have to do it because otherwise it won't trigger.
Cessna Echo India Papa, turn next taxiway.
Is it? Oh, it's changed my mind again. See, I'm trying to make this look good for the viewers, and you're messing with me. Take the flaps out.
Echo India Papa, contact ground on 123.9er.
Contact ground.
Going to 123.9er Cessna Echo India Papa.
Let's hope it doesn't change this on me. Stop, stop, stop. Don't overrun the box. Jesus. Taxi clearance.
Burbank ground Cessna Golf. Tango Echo India Papa. Request taxi to parking.
Aircraft did not enter taxi without Seriously? Did I move? No, I did not move. And they've just given me a black mark for that. It's also telling me to taxi into another aircraft, which obviously I'm not going to do. I'm going to ignore that taxi instructions and I'm going to come this way. So I'm probably not going to get the top rating now because it said that I entered the taxi without clearance when I absolutely didn't. But I should pass. And as far as the stream goes, that's enough. As far as my ego goes, I will come back later and get the full better rating. Even though I did nothing wrong. I'm adamant about that. Brake. Parking brake. And shut down my engines.
You've performed great today. Keep the same attitude, and I'm sure that you will have a great piloting career.
Or is it we'll do the Donald Trump. Do 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 do. Oh, it did get an A. Okay, my ego is okay. My ego has been protected. Everything went perfectly during this flight. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't fail me for your stupid mistake. I respected the cruise altitude. I respected the flight plan 99% because I used the GPS and the autopilot. I respected the taxi path 67% because you tried to get me to crash into other aircraft. Plane handling 100%. I will take it.